Jai-Ho stared into his telescope, eyes tired from hours of watching the night sky. The small mountain observatory was quiet at 2 a.m. Everyone else had gone home long ago. Just one more hour, he told himself, taking a sip of cold coffee. Jai-Ho Kim was 28 years old and taught astronomy at Seoul National University. His students liked him because he made space seem exciting. Tonight, he was looking for a special comet that only came near Earth every 80 years. Suddenly, a bright light streaked across his view. It was too fast for a normal shooting star, and too bright. Jai-Ho jumped up, knocking over his coffee. "That's not a meteor," he whispered. The light was getting bigger, not burning up, and it was heading toward the mountains not far from the observatory. When it crashed, the ground shook. Jai-Ho grabbed his jacket, flashlight, and backpack. He had to see what fell from the sky. It took an hour of hiking through dark woods before he saw it. Something had carved a path through the trees and made a small crater. In the center was not a rock from space, but a metal object about the size of a small car. It was silver with strange blue lights still blinking. A satellite. Jai-Ho wondered, stepping closer. Then he froze. Part of the object was opening. A door was sliding up, and someone, or something, was climbing out. Jai-Ho hid behind a tree, heart pounding. He expected a green monster or a robot. Instead, he saw what looked like a woman, but not quite human. She was tall and slim with dark hair that seemed to shine with its own light. Her skin had a soft glow like pearl, and when she turned toward his hiding spot, Jai-Ho saw her eyes. They were deep violet and had no whites, just solid pools of purple. The woman-like being touched something on her wrist. A small light scanned the area and stopped on Jai-Ho's tree. "I know you are there," she said in perfect Korean, though her voice had a musical quality no human could make. "Please show yourself. I mean no harm." Jai-Ho took a deep breath and stepped out. "Hello," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "My name is Jai-Ho Kim. I'm an astronomy professor. Are you from space?" The being smiled. Her teeth were white like a human's but slightly pointed. "Yes, my name is Neri. My ship was damaged passing through your solar radiation belt. I had to make an emergency landing." Jai-Ho couldn't believe he was talking to an alien who looked almost human and spoke his language. "How can you speak Korean?" he asked. Neri pointed to a small device in her ear. "Universal translator. It reads brain patterns and finds matching language structures. Your Korean is now in my database." She walked around her ship, touching damaged parts and frowning. "I need 2 of your Earth weeks to repair my ship. Do humans have authorities that would capture me for study? On many planets, new species are not treated kindly." Jai-Ho thought about government agencies and military responses to an alien visitor. "Yes," he admitted. "They would definitely take you away. It wouldn't be safe for you." Neri looked worried. "I need shelter while I repair my ship, and I need to continue my research." "Research? What research?" Neri's violet eyes lit up with excitement. "I study how different species reproduce. My people stopped natural reproduction centuries ago. We are created in labs now, but I find natural methods fascinating. Earth was on my research list because humans have such strong emotions tied to reproduction." Jai-Ho's face turned red. "You want to study how humans reproduce?" "Yes, it's all scientific, of course. I'm a xenobiologist. My work helps understand evolution across the galaxy." Jai-Ho thought quickly. He had a small cabin further up the mountain where he sometimes stayed during long observation periods. No one would look for an alien there. "I have a place you can stay," he said, "but people can't know about you." "Wonderful." Neri clapped her hands. "And will you teach me about human reproduction? My research shows it's very different from most species. So many rituals and complex feelings involved." Jai-Ho swallowed hard. How had his quiet night of stargazing turned into this? I guess I could explain some things. For science. Neri smiled brightly, her skin glowing stronger with her excitement. This will be the most valuable research in my career. Thank you, Jai-Ho of Earth. As they walked toward his cabin, Jai-Ho wondered what he had just agreed to. The walk to Jai-Ho's cabin took almost an hour. Neri carried a small bag with tools and devices from her ship. She hid the ship under a special cover that made it look like rocks and dirt. No one will find it now, she explained. It will repair itself slowly while I stay with you. Jai-Ho's cabin was small but cozy. It had one bedroom, a living room with a fireplace, a tiny kitchen, and a bathroom. He built a fire to warm the cool night air. "This is your dwelling?" Neri asked, looking around with interest. "It's made of dead plants. Very rustic." "We call it wood," Jai-Ho said. "And yes, this is my cabin. I stay here when I work late at the observatory." Neri walked around, touching everything. She picked up books, looked at photos, and studied a coffee mug like it was a strange alien artifact, which to her it was. "Your species creates so many things," she said. "My people, the Ori, focus on function. We have few personal items." Jai-Ho made tea and offered Neri a cup. She sniffed it, then took a small sip. "Interesting. Plant matter soaked in hot water. We absorb nutrients differently, but I can still taste this. Our bodies are compatible with most carbon-based worlds." Jai-Ho sat in his chair, still trying to believe he had an alien in his cabin. "So, your people don't reproduce naturally anymore?" he asked, trying to understand her research interest. Neri sat cross-legged on the floor. "No. 5,000 years ago, we chose to control our evolution. Now, new Ori are created in labs. We choose the best traits and remove bad ones. No disease, longer life, better minds." "How long do your people live?" Jai-Ho asked. "About 300 of your Earth years," Neri said casually. Jai-Ho almost spilled his tea. 300 years. That's amazing." Neri shrugged. "It's normal for us. How long do humans live? Maybe 80 or 90 years, if we're lucky." Neri looked sad. "So short, but your lives are very full of feeling, yes. That's why I study humans. You have such strong emotions about everything, especially reproduction." Jai-Ho felt his face get hot again. "Well, yes, humans connect reproduction with love and relationships. It's not just about making babies." Neri's violet eyes widened. "That's exactly what makes humans special. Most species reproduce only to continue their kind, but humans do it for pleasure, for connection, for many reasons. My research shows this is very unusual in the galaxy." Jai-Ho didn't know what to say. He had never thought about human reproduction from a galactic perspective. "Tomorrow, could you begin teaching me?" Neri asked eagerly. "I want to learn everything. The biology, the feelings, the rituals humans use to find mates." "I'm not sure I'm the best teacher for this," Jai-Ho said nervously. "Why not? You are a teacher, yes. And you are a healthy adult human male. Have you never reproduced?" "No. I mean, I haven't had children. But reproduction isn't something we talk about with strangers." Neri looked confused. "I'm not a stranger now. I'm your guest. And this is scientific research." Jai-Ho sighed. How could he explain human privacy to an alien scientist? "Let's start slow," he suggested. "First, you should learn more about humans in general. Our culture, our history. That will help you understand why reproduction is complicated for us." Neri nodded. "A logical approach. On my world, we would put the information directly into our brains. But I enjoy your teaching method. It's more personal." As night turned to morning, they talked for hours. Neri told Jai-Ho about the Ori's vast civilization that covered 12 star systems. Jai-Ho shared stories about Earth history and Korean culture. When the sun rose, Jai-Ho realized he hadn't slept at all. But he wasn't tired. Talking with Neri was the most exciting thing that had ever happened to him. "I think this will be a very good cultural exchange," Neri said, watching the sunrise with wonder. I will learn about human reproduction, and you will learn about the stars. Jaiho smiled. Maybe this strange situation would work out after all. 3 days passed quickly. Jiho called the university to say he was sick and needed time off. He spent every moment with Nari, showing her books, movies, and websites about Earth. Nari learned fast. By the 3rd day, she understood Korean history, basic human biology, and even how to cook simple meals. Humans use food for more than energy, she said while stirring soup. You connect food with feelings and memories. On my world, we take nutrition pills. Jaiho laughed. That sounds boring. Don't you miss the taste of real food? I never knew what I was missing, Neri said. She tasted the soup and smiled. But now I understand why humans enjoy it. That afternoon, Jaiho's phone rang. It was his friend, Minho, another professor from the university. Where are you? Minho asked. Everyone is talking about the meteor that fell near the observatory. Scientists are coming to look for it. Jaiho looked at Nari with worry. I'm just taking some time off. Feeling sick. You don't sound sick, Minho said. I'm coming to check on you. I'll bring medicine. Before Jaiho could stop him, Minho hung up. My friend is coming here, Jaiho told Nari. He can't see you. Nari frowned. Why not? Don't you trust him? I don't know. This is big, Nari. If people find out about you, it could be dangerous. Nari touched Jaiho's hand. Her skin was warm and smooth. I trust your judgment, Jaiho. Her touch made Jaiho feel strange. His heart beat faster, and he felt his face get warm. He pulled his hand away quickly. 2 hours later, Minho's car pulled up outside. Jaiho told Nari to hide in the bedroom. Minho was a short man with glasses and a big smile. He carried a bag of food and medicine. You don't look sick, he said, walking into the cabin. What's really going on? Jaiho tried to lie, but Minho knew him too well. He noticed 2 cups on the table, women's clothes Nari had borrowed folded on a chair, and strange devices on the counter. Do you have a girlfriend here? Minho asked with a grin. Is that why you're hiding? Before Jaiho could answer, Nari walked out of the bedroom. Hello, I am Nari, she said. Minho stared at her, even with her hair covering her pointed ears and sunglasses hiding her unusual eyes. She looked different from any human. Her skin had a soft glow, and she moved with unusual grace. You're not human, Minho whispered. Nari looked at Jaiho, who nodded. She took off her sunglasses, showing her violet eyes. No, I am not, she said simply. Minho sat down hard on a chair. The meteor, it was your ship. Nari nodded. For the next hour, they explained everything to Minho. To Jaiho's surprise, his friend was excited rather than afraid. This is amazing, Minho said. An alien scientist studying human reproduction. I can help. I teach biology. You can't tell anyone, Jaiho warned. Of course not, Minho promised. But Jaiho, be careful. You look at her differently than a scientist should look at a research subject. After Minho left, Jaiho and Nari sat by the fire. Jaiho thought about what his friend had said. Was he developing feelings for Nari? Jaiho, Nari said quietly. I feel strange when I'm near you. My heart beats faster. My skin feels warm. Is this what humans call attraction? Jaiho looked at her with surprise. Attraction. I thought your people didn't have those feelings anymore. We don't. They were removed from our biology long ago. Nari looked confused. But when you're close to me, I feel things I can't explain. Is this part of the reproduction process? Jaiho took a deep breath. Attraction is often the first step. Humans feel drawn to each other before they consider reproduction. Nari moved closer to him. Can you explain this feeling? For my research. But as she looked into his eyes, both of them knew this was no longer just about research. A week passed. Nari visited her ship every few days to check on repairs. She said it would be ready in another week. Jiho felt both relief and sadness about this news. One morning, Jiho turned on his small TV. The local news showed government trucks on the mountain roads near his cabin. Scientists are still searching for the meteor that fell last week, the reporter said. Military officials have joined the search after strange energy readings were detected in the area. Jiho turned off the TV quickly. Nari, they're looking for your ship. Nari came from the kitchen, wiping her hands on a towel. She had been learning to cook human food. The cloaking technology should hide it, she said, but she looked worried. Unless they have advanced detection equipment. Jiho paced around the small cabin. What kind of energy readings could they detect? The self-repair system sends out pulses to find needed materials, Nari explained. It's possible their instruments caught these signals. That afternoon, Jiho drove to town for supplies. At the small market, he noticed a black car with government plates. A tall man in a dark suit was showing a photo to the store owner. Jiho grabbed his groceries quickly and tried to leave without being noticed. But as he reached his car, the man in the suit approached him. "Excuse me," the man said. "I'm Agent Dae-sung with the National Intelligence Service. May I ask you some questions?" Jiho's heart pounded, but he kept his face calm. Of course. Agent Dae-sung showed him a satellite photo of the mountain area near his cabin. "We're investigating unusual energy patterns in this region. As a local resident, have you noticed anything strange in the past week? Lights in the sky. Unusual sounds." Jiho shook his head. "Nothing unusual. I've been sick at home." "You're Professor Kim from the university, correct? The astronomy department?" "Yes, that's right." Agent Dae-sung smiled, but his eyes stayed cold. Interesting that an astronomy professor didn't notice a meteor fall near his home. "I was sleeping," Jiho lied. "Bad cold." The agent handed Jiho a card. "If you see anything unusual, please call me. It's a matter of national security." As Jiho drove back to the cabin, he checked his mirror, often to make sure no one followed him. When he arrived, he found Nari and Minho looking at something on Minho's laptop. "The government is searching for Nari's ship," Jiho said, putting down the groceries. "I met an agent in town." Minho nodded. "That's why I came today. Look at this." He turned his laptop to show Jiho. It was a news article about strange energy patterns and possible non-terrestrial technology. "They're getting close," Minho said. "My friend in the physics department said they have special equipment that can detect energy fluctuations." Nari touched her wrist device. "I can adjust the ship's cloaking field, but I need to go there in person." "Too dangerous," Jiho said. "The mountain is probably being washed." Minho closed his laptop. "You two need to be ready to move if necessary. I can help hide you at my lake house if needed." After Minho left, Nari sat close to Jiho on the couch. The worry about discovery made her usual scientific calmness disappear. "Jiho," she said quietly, "my ship will be ready soon. I need to complete my research before I leave." "About human reproduction?" Jiho asked. Nari nodded. "Yes, but I realize now it's not just about biology. Human reproduction is connected to feelings, to relationships." She paused. "To love." Jiho looked into her violet eyes. "Love is a big topic. Then we should start learning about it right away," Nari said. She moved closer. "For scientific purposes, of course." Jiho smiled. "Of course, for science." But as government agents searched the mountains outside, both knew their time together was running out. The next morning, Jiho woke up early. He had been thinking all night about how to teach Nari about human relationships and reproduction. As a professor, he wanted to be organized. He made coffee and sat at the small table with a notebook. By the time Nari came out of the guest room, he had created a simple plan. "Good morning," Nari said. "What are you writing?" Jiho felt his face get warm. "I made a plan for your research. We should be systematic. Neri smiled and sat across from him. Her violet eyes shone with excitement. Very scientific. I approve. I thought we could start with the biology basics, then move to the emotional aspects. Jaiho explained. Human reproduction isn't just physical. It's connected to feelings. On my world, reproduction was once connected to feelings too, Neri said. But we thought emotions made us weak, so we removed them from the process. Now I wonder if we lost something important. Jaiho nodded. Emotions can be complicated, but they give life meaning. For the next few hours, Jaiho explained human biology with scientific diagrams from his old textbooks. Neri asked many questions, taking notes on her wrist device. Your species has only 2 sexes, she observed. Many planets have 3 or more, but your system seems efficient. After lunch, they moved to the emotional aspects of human relationships. This was harder to explain with diagrams. Humans usually feel attraction before reproduction, Jaiho said. It starts with finding someone interesting or beautiful. Like I find you interesting? Neri asked innocently. Jaiho merely choked on his tea. Well, yes, but humans usually look for certain qualities in a mate. Intelligence, kindness, shared interests. You are intelligent and kind, Neri noted, and we share interest in the stars. Jaiho continued, trying to stay professional. After attraction comes dating. People spend time together to see if they're compatible. Like we've been doing. Sort of, but dating usually involves special activities. Meals at restaurants, watching movies, walking in parks. Neri looked thoughtful. We don't have dating on my world. When reproduction was natural, our ancestors chose mates based on genetic compatibility. Now, all Ori are created in labs. Jaiho felt sad for her people. You missed the best part then. The connection between 2 people who care for each other is special. As evening came, they sat on the couch. Jaiho explained how physical touch was important to human relationships. It starts with simple things, he said. Holding hands, hugging, kissing. Kissing. Neri looked confused. I've seen this in your movies. Pressing mouths together seems strange for a species that uses mouths for eating and talking. Jaiho laughed. It does sound odd when you put it that way, but it's a way to show affection. Can you show me? Neri asked. For my research. Jaiho hesitated. Was this crossing a line? But Neri looked at him with such innocent curiosity that he couldn't refuse. Just a quick demonstration, he said. For science. He leaned forward and gently pressed his lips to hers. He meant it to be brief, but something unexpected happened. Neri's skin began to glow with a soft blue light. Jaiho felt a warm, tingling sensation where their lips touched. When he pulled back, Neri's eyes were wide. What was that? She whispered. I don't know, Jaiho said. That's not normal for humans. Did I hurt you? Neri shook her head. No, my species has sensory cells in our skin. They react to compatible biochemistry. She looked amazed. This has never happened before with any species I studied. What does it mean? Jaiho asked. It means, Neri said softly, that despite coming from different worlds, we are somehow compatible. She touched her lips. I need more data. We should try again. This time, when they kissed, Jaiho forgot about science completely. The next morning, Jaiho woke up feeling happier than he had in years. After their kiss, he and Neri had talked for hours about their worlds and lives. They found they were alike in many ways, despite coming from different planets. As Jaiho made breakfast, Neri checked her wrist device. My ship is at 80% repair, she said. 3 more days until it's ready. Jaiho felt his heart sink. Just 3 more days with Nari. It seemed too short now. We should check on it today, he suggested. Make sure the government hasn't found it. After breakfast, they hiked through the forest to the crash site. The ship still looked like a pile of rocks, thanks to its cloaking technology. Neri touched her wrist device and a door appeared in what had looked like solid stone. "Wait here," she told Jeho. "I need to adjust some settings inside." While Mary was in her ship, Jeho looked around the forest. Something caught his eye. A small black box attached to a tree. It had a lens pointed at the clearing. "Neri," he called urgently. "Come out now. There's a camera." Neri emerged quickly from the ship, sealing it behind her. When she saw the camera, her face grew serious. "We need to leave. Now." They ran through the forest back toward the cabin. As they got closer, Jeho stopped and pulled Neri behind a large tree. "Look," he whispered. 3 black SUVs were parked outside his cabin. Men in dark suits were going in and out, carrying boxes of his belongings. "Agent Daesung found us," Jeho said. "We can't go back there." Neri looked worried. "All my research notes are in the cabin. We need to go somewhere safe. I know a place." Jeho led Neri deeper into the forest, away from the cabin and her ship. After 2 hours of walking, they reached an old building almost hidden by trees and vines. "This was my research station when I was a student," Jeho explained. "No one has used it for years." Inside was one room with dusty furniture, a table, chair, small bed, and old camping stove. Jeho found matches and lit a candle he found in a drawer. "Not very comfortable," he apologized. Neri smiled. "It's perfect. No one will find us here." As night fell, they sat on the old bed, sharing a bottle of water and some energy bars Jeho had in his backpack. "I'm sorry about your research notes," Jeho said. Neri's violet eyes caught the candlelight. "The most important data is here." She touched her head. "And here." She touched her chest where a human heart would be. "Why is your research so important to you?" Jeho asked. Neri was quiet for a moment. "I should tell you the truth. My mission is not approved by my government. On my world, studying natural reproduction is frowned upon." "You're a rebel scientist." Jeho was surprised. Neri nodded. "My people think natural reproduction is primitive, but I believe we lost something when we abandoned it. The connection between beings, the variation it creates. These things make a species stronger." Jeho took her hand. "Now you're in trouble with 2 planets." "Worth it," Neri said, squeezing his hand. "I've learned more with you than in all my other research combined." "About reproduction?" Jeho asked. "About connection," Neri said softly. "My people would punish me if they knew what I've done here. They would say I've become contaminated with emotions." Jeho moved closer. "Are emotions so bad?" "They can be dangerous," Neri whispered. "Powerful. They make you care about someone else more than your mission or your people." "Is that happening to you?" Jeho asked. Neri's skin began to glow softly in the dark room. "Yes. And the strangest part is, I don't want it to stop." Outside, far in the distance, they heard vehicles moving through the forest. The search for them had begun. Jeho and Neri stayed hidden in the old research station for 2 days. They had little food and water, but they didn't dare leave. Sometimes they heard vehicles on the forest roads or helicopters overhead. On the morning of the 3rd day, Jeho's phone rang. It was Minho. "Where are you?" Minho asked. "Are you safe? The government took everything from your cabin." "We're hiding," Jeho said. "Did they question you?" "Yes, I said I didn't know anything." "Listen, I have a plan to help you escape. Can you get to the lake by midnight?" That night, Jeho and Neri carefully made their way through the dark forest. They avoided roads and used the stars to navigate. Neri's night vision was better than Jeho's, which helped them move quickly. At the lake, Minho waited in a small boat. "Hurry," he whispered when he saw them. "My friend has a research ship leaving for an ocean station at dawn. You can hide there for a while." They climbed into the boat, and Minho steered them across the dark lake. On the other side, a van waited. The driver, Minho's friend, didn't ask questions. He drove them to a port where a large research vessel was being loaded with supplies. "This ship studies ocean life," Minho explained. "It will be at sea for 2 weeks. The captain owes me a favor. He'll keep you hidden." They said goodbye to Minho and boarded the ship just before dawn. The captain, an older man with a gray beard, showed them to a small cabin deep in the ship. "Stay here when others are around," he said. "You can come out when it's safe." For several days, Jaiho and Neri remained hidden. At night, when most crew members were sleeping, they would walk on the deck and look at the stars. "This is the first time I've seen your oceans," Neri said one night. "They're beautiful. My world has smaller seas." One morning, a young crew member saw them. He stared at Neri's violet eyes and unusual skin, then ran to tell others. Soon, the captain called them to his office. "The crew knows you're not normal," he told Neri. "I need to tell them something." Jaiho felt panic. "What will you say?" The captain thought for a moment. "The truth. They're scientists. They might understand." To Jaiho's surprise, most of the crew accepted Neri with excitement rather than fear. They asked her questions about space and her world. Neri answered carefully, enjoying the chance to talk with more humans. One crew member, however, did not accept her. He tried to send a message to the authorities, but the ship was too far from land for his phone to work. A week into the journey, a bad storm hit the ship. Giant waves crashed over the deck. During the worst part of the storm, a large wave swept 2 crew members into the sea. Without thinking, Neri used her advanced technology to help. She activated a force field from her wrist device that pulled the men back onto the ship. Everyone saw her use this alien technology. The crew member who had been afraid of her was one of the men she saved. After that, he changed his mind about Neri. Later, in their cabin, Jaiho spoke with Neri. "You risked exposing yourself to save those men," he said. "Why?" Neri looked surprised by the question. "They would have died. How could I not help?" "Some species might put their own safety first," Jaiho said. "Maybe once I would have," Neri admitted. "But I've learned something important from humans. Your species values each life. You risk yourselves for others, even strangers. It's why you've survived despite being less advanced." Jaiho took her hand. "Is that going in your research?" Neri smiled. "Yes, the most important finding is that reproduction isn't just about making new life. It's about connection, caring for others, love." She touched his face gently. "These things make a species truly advanced." Outside their cabin, the crew celebrated being alive, their voices carrying through the ship like music. After 2 weeks at sea, the research ship returned to port. By then, the entire crew had accepted Neri as a friend. No one wanted to report her to the authorities. "My ship should be fully repaired by now," Neri told Jaiho as they stood on the deck watching the land come closer. "I need to return to it soon." Jaiho felt his heart sink. "Will you leave Earth right away?" Neri was quiet for a moment. "I should. My research is complete. But..." She didn't finish her sentence. She didn't need to. Both knew that things had changed between them. The captain helped them leave the ship without being seen. A crew member drove them to Minho's lake house, where their friend waited with news. "The government search has moved to other areas," Minho said. "They think you've left the country, but your cabin is still being watched." "I need to get to my ship," Neri said. "Can you help us?" That night, Minho drove them as close as possible to the crash site. Jaiho and Neri walked the rest of the way, careful to avoid the few cameras that might still be in the forest. When they reached the ship, Neri touched her wrist device. The cloaking field disappeared, revealing the silver craft, now fully repaired and gleaming in the moonlight. "It's beautiful," Jaiho said. Inside, the ship was small but amazing. Strange lights glowed on smooth walls. There were no buttons or screens, just surfaces that responded to Neri's touch. "The repair is complete," Neri said, checking a display that appeared in the air. I can leave tonight. Jai-Ho tried to hide his sadness. Your people will be waiting for your research. Neri turned to him. Jai-Ho, there's something I need to tell you. She took a deep breath. When I return to my world, I will face judgment. My unauthorized research will be discovered. I might be punished. Can you avoid going back? Jai-Ho asked. I could. This ship can travel to many systems, but my research is important. It could change how my people think about natural reproduction. It could help them rediscover emotions and connections. Jai-Ho understood. Her work was bigger than just the two of them. There's another option, Neri said quietly. You could come with me. Jai-Ho stared at her. Leave Earth. You would be the first human to see other worlds. You could study stars no human has ever seen. Neri touched his hand. We could be together. Jai-Ho thought about his life on Earth. His job at the university, his few friends, his small cabin. Then he thought about traveling among the stars with Neri. How long would we be gone? He asked. Time works differently in space travel, Neri explained. If we returned, many Earth years would have passed. Everyone you know would be much older or gone. This was bigger than Jai-Ho had imagined, to leave everything forever. Before he could answer, Neri's ship made a strange sound. A red light flashed on a wall display. What's happening? Jai-Ho asked. Neri looked worried. A ship from my world has entered your solar system. They must have tracked my research vessel. She checked the display. They'll reach Earth in 6 hours. Are they coming to help you? Neri shook her head. No, my research is considered dangerous by our leaders. They believe natural reproduction and emotions make a species weak. They're coming to stop me, to take me back for correction. What will they do to Earth? Jai-Ho asked, suddenly afraid for his planet. Nothing, if they only find me. But if they think humans helped hide me. Neri didn't finish. Jai-Ho realized they faced an impossible choice. Run away together and leave Earth to face angry aliens, or stay and face the consequences of their actions. Neri looked into his eyes. We have 6 hours to decide our future. Jai-Ho paced inside Neri's ship. 5 hours remained until the Ori vessel would reach Earth. They needed a plan. If we run, your people might still punish Earth for helping you, Jai-Ho said. If we stay, we both face trouble from our governments. Neri touched controls on the wall, bringing up a star map. There is a third option. It's risky, but it might work. She explained her idea. Instead of hiding or running, they would meet both governments openly. They would show that humans and Ori could work together peacefully. My people respect knowledge above all, Neri said. If we present my research properly, they might listen. Jai-Ho called Min-Ho, who contacted his friend in the government. It took hours of talking, but they finally reached someone who would listen. A high-ranking official who had been tracking the approaching alien ship with growing fear. As dawn broke, cars arrived at the forest clearing. Agent Dae-sung was there, along with military officers and government officials. They looked nervous but determined. The alien ship will reach Earth orbit in 1 hour, the highest-ranking official said. What should we expect? The Ori are not violent by nature, Neri explained, but they are very protective of their knowledge. They fear I shared dangerous technology. Have you? Agent Dae-sung asked. Neri shook her head. No, but I've learned something my people need to understand. Something about humans that makes you special. While they waited, Neri showed the officials her research. She explained how human reproduction created natural variation, how emotional bonds made humans stronger as a species, not weaker. My people chose to eliminate natural reproduction and emotions, she told them. We thought it made us superior. But looking at humans, I see what we lost. The officials were fascinated by Neri's insights. Even Agent Dae-sung seemed impressed. When the Ori ship entered Earth's atmosphere, everyone grew tense. It was much larger than Neri's vessel, silver and sleek like a giant teardrop. It hovered above the clearing, making no sound. A beam of light shot down, and 3 tall figures appeared. They looked similar to Nari, but older, with gray skin and cold eyes. Researcher Nari, the tallest one, said, "You have violated protocol by studying primitive reproduction methods. Return to the ship for correction." Nari stepped forward. "Elders, I have made an important discovery. Humans are not primitive. Their reproductive method creates strength through diversity and emotional connection." The Ori elders looked at the humans with doubt. "These beings are ruled by emotions. It makes them weak and unpredictable." Jaiho stepped forward. "With respect, emotions give us reason to live, to explore, to connect with others. Without them, what purpose does knowledge serve?" The elders seemed surprised that a human would speak to them directly. "Let me show you my research," Neri said. She projected images showing humans helping each other, creating art, raising children, exploring space despite their limitations. "Their reproductive method doesn't just create new life," Nari explained. "It creates bonds between individuals that extend to their whole society. It gives them courage and creativity we have lost." The oldest Ori spoke after a long silence. "Your findings are unexpected. They require further study. I propose an exchange," Neri said. "Let human scientists visit our world, and let our scientists learn from humans. Together, we can become stronger than either species alone." After much discussion, both sides agreed. The first official contact between Earth and the Ori civilization would be peaceful, based on shared knowledge. As the meeting ended, Jaiho found a moment alone with Nari. "What happens now?" he asked. Nari smiled, her violet eyes bright with hope. "Now we become bridges between our worlds. Together." "Together," Jaiho agreed, taking her hand. "For science, of course." Nari laughed. "Yes, for science, and for something even more important." As their fingers intertwined, both knew that what had started as a study of reproduction had created something new, understanding between two very different worlds.